This is how I go from seeds to full seed snails in weeks here in Zone 3. Zone 3, we're often pressed for time, so I wanted to show you the system that I use and the steps that I use to go from seeds to full seed snails in about 3-4 weeks. It all begins with mass planting. Mass planting helps me to save space, and I can pick the winners. And then I always think that once you've got the germination, you're kind of halfway home. But the next half is developing roots. So here's some snapdragons. I moved them from mass planting into a seed snail. And we know that seed snails are all about root development and saving space. So the next step is really about roots. So here's some petunias. I just unrolled this seed snail and you can see the healthy roots here. That's what you're after during this stage of the system, is to move things along as best you can. Then I might end up pre-planting some hanging baskets. That's what I've got here. So I've got my petunias, I've got snapdragons, I've got alyssum in there, and some ornamental grass. Here's a seed snail that's just dahlias. So I went from mass planting of dahlias to a seed snail of dahlias. But the point is the end product here. This full seed snail that's almost ready to go into a hanging basket. In fact, it's pre-planted. Saves me a lot of time, and I can see how the plants look together along the way. So this becomes really important again in Zone 3, because this system really helps to determine what I'm going to have in the end. Or I might just go to a pot. So here's a dahlia that started out in a mass planting, spent some time in a seed snail, and now is in its own pot. And this pot is ready to be potted up even further or sent into the ground with the dahlia. So it's kind of a 3-step process: mass planting, followed by root development in a seed snail, and then potted on either into its own pot or into a seed snail